Golden Girls, and I stood next to this lady, this girl next to me in the kick line was beautiful, long, blonde, beautiful hair, and she swore by Proactiv. Do you know what I did? I went home and bought Proactiv. That's the power of word of mouth. And what got me about Rodan and Fields and the business that they created, and our guest of honor will tell you more about it, but what got me about this is that Estee Lauder used to own Rodan and Fields. All those years I used Estee Lauder and I had never heard of Rodan and Fields because it was the people who were using the products who were going out spreading the good news about what it was doing. So that's when I realized, they were onto something with the new business model. And I'll let our guest of honor tell you a little bit more about that. But what I ask of you tonight, as you meet these incredible women, is to be open-minded. Because the time to create a plan B, no matter what you're doing in life, no matter how happy you are, no matter how much money you make, the time to create a plan B is not when you need a plan B. And as a New Orleans native, I know anything can happen at any time, as we all know, because of Hurricane Katrina. You never know what happens in life. It's a very smart plan, and you were invited here by someone who thinks very highly of you. This is a room full of incredible women. Do you guys feel that? You feel when you're in a room full of incredible women. That's what I feel. So you're gonna leave here either interested in the products or recognizing what we are doing with the business and wanting to do it with us, or you're going to be a great referral for us. So without further ado, I ask you to think about that tonight, and I'm going to introduce to you our guest of honor who just flew in, literally, just flew in and walked in the door like a little fairy godmother off the flight, Denise Valles from Houston, Texas.
Thank you very much. Well, she is right. I did just get here. I was supposed to be here earlier this morning, and flights got canceled, and then I was on standby, thought I had a ticket, and I said, oh, you don't have a ticket, you're on standby. And I said, you better get me on that flight. I've got a bunch of girls I want to go talk to. So I don't know that I've ever been called a guest of honor before. That feels pretty good. Thank you. So my name is Denise Valles. Thank you all so much for waiting. I literally did fly down the highway and I thought, please do not let me get pulled over because this would just not be good. So my name is Denise Valles. I'm the Central Region Director at Rodan and Fields. Our corporate offices are out actually in San Francisco, California, but I am fortunate enough to live right in my region. So I live in the Texas area, in the Dallas, Texas area, as a matter of fact. And so not too far away from here, and this is my second time being out in New Orleans. I spent a lot of time with Miss Amanda Clementi the first time. We had lots of fun. And she's like, you gotta get back out here and see what we're up to. So I am excited to do that. So how many guests do we have in the room by show of hands? All right, so quite a few. Wonderful. Give them a hand for coming. Yes, and if you are here, that means someone that brought you here really believes in you. So I want you to just turn to that person that brought you here and tell them, thank you for believing in me. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so if you are a guest, you are actually our guest of honor tonight. And our goal is to just help give you a glimpse into Rodan and Fields. We love Rodan and Fields. I've been here for nearly 2 years now, but been in this channel for the last 20 years. And I will tell you, I have never seen anything like Rodan and Fields. Not the way that it's grown, not the community for sure. You're gonna hear about that probably more than anything else tonight, because we're so proud of it and we just want to share it with you. It is amazing to be able to wake up every day and get up and talk to ladies who are ready to just change their life, and as a result, they're world changers. And so we want to share that with you, because isn't that kind of what we all want in life, to make a big difference and a big impact? We do, but sometimes we kind of stop believing that we can, and we just go through the day to day. But you're going to hear from some gals tonight that are probably going to change your mind. So where do I start here? So I just like to kind of give you a little bit of the facts from corporate, but then I can't wait to really get into the good stuff, which is to hear how it impacts the lives of our consultants. So back when Rodan and Fields started, you heard that our founders actually created Proactiv. Now, I loved Proactiv. I also love infomercials. Like, I would definitely buy the Thigh Masters, and I have probably every exercise pieces of equipment. As a matter of fact, when those infomercials come on, I'm like, honey, get the credit card. Like, I just cannot resist I was even like that as a kid, and I would ask my mom, can I please get some Proactive? And she's like, no, honey, because you don't have acne. There's no need for it. So as much as I wanted to, because all of my friends were using it, my sisters were using it, I never got the opportunity to use it. However, we've all heard about it, right? So we know that our doctors have been extremely successful. They attended the Stanford University School of Medicine together. They didn't know each other before that. They met in lab class, and they say the rest is history. They became best friends at that point. They went on to practice dermatology. They still practice dermatology today in the San Francisco Bay Area. It would probably take at least 2 years. I think somebody told me last week 4 years to get an appointment with them. So if you're ever out there, probably not gonna happen, but you can try. So the fact that they still practice dermatology today, and even back when they did Proactive, helped them to see that there's more concerns than just acne. Yes, several people have it, right? But there's some of us that have not had it either. But I still don't want to age. I still don't want brown spots on my face. I have a sister who has the most sensitive skin in the world. She can't put anything on it. She can't use any of those other products, but she can use our Soothe product. So they saw a need to have more than just that one skincare product, and took it back to Proactive and asked them, hey, we'd like to move into some different categories. And they said, absolutely not. We do acne, and that's what we're gonna stick to. So guess what happened next? They decided to create Rodan & Fields. And we have 4 different regimens that really focus in those different areas. I am so hot, y'all. I literally was running.
Say Johnny on the spot.
Johnny on the spot, I am so hot. I have an Uncle Johnny too, but a little different kind of uncle. Okay, so, oh good, I didn't know this was back here. I might need to put that on the back of my neck. I literally was running through each airport, jumping over people. Thank you. Okay, so where was I? I don't usually get off track. It's been a different kind of day today. So they created Rodan & Fields. We'll start right there. Now, when Rodan & Fields was first created, it started in high-end department stores, so like Neiman, Saks, places like that. So we call those premium skincare products. And now, they did very successful in that space. But the doctors will tell you themselves, they felt like it was a very limited place to be. And here's why. Usually people get into medicine because they want to change lives, right? So the products, they were behind the counter, locked up behind the counter. You had to talk to the one person in the store about the products. And how many of you have been to a counter to buy maybe perfume, and you wait, and nobody's there? I've left so many times for those. So they saw that it was limiting. And then when they went to check out how people were coming to the counter, it wasn't through the millions of dollars that they spent on marketing the products. It wasn't through any of that. It had nothing to do with the person behind the counter, but everything to do with referrals. So when they saw that, coupled with some other things that was happening during the world at that time, how many of you here are on Facebook? Right? All of us. How many are on Facebook right now? But what did that do? That helped us to really have power in word of mouth. So I might tell 3 or 4 people about a product I'm using in the past, but with Facebook, I can tell like 3,000 people about it. So they just had some, I guess, courage to say, even though we're doing good here, we want to do this bigger and we want to do it better. And as a result, even though it was in the middle of a recession, they decided to take a chance and enter into the direct sales channel. And boy, are we glad that they did. Rodan & Fields is #1. We're the #1 skincare brand in all of North America. So give yourselves a hand for that. Yes. Woo! That is amazing. Now that's not like saying we're the greatest coffee in the world. That's a little different than that. That is actually measured by Euromonitor. So it's an outside company that comes in and measures all of the skincare companies across the US, North America, across the world, and they tell you where you rank in that order. When I first started 2 years ago, we were 2nd in premium skincare, which means not anywhere close to #1 in all skincare. So premium are the ones that are in those high-end department stores. We've now surpassed all of them in the high-end department stores, and we've also surpassed all of those in those big box stores that you see as well. Okay, so I can't say brand names, but all of them. So just think of one, we surpassed it. That's amazing, and it's because of word of mouth. And what I love about that is that gives you an amazing business opportunity, because when people start using Rodan & Fields, it works. I mean, how many of you have seen the before and afters? couldn't wait to get my products, don't have the issue anymore, or maybe I appear not to have the issue anymore if I'm saying it right. So we're excited about that. I just like to use this number to put this, and yeah, we have to be careful how we say things, but it's not there is what I'm saying, right? So I like to use this number. I'm not a big numbers person, but I love to use this number to put our growth into perspective. So how many of you know traditional beauty companies, how much they grow on average per year? Anybody want to care to guess percentage-wise? Just throw a percentage out.
5%.
20.
Okay. That's good. 2 to 5%. Okay. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Is that good? Is that bad? Guess what Rodan & Fields grew last year? 84%. That's a big deal. Yes. Give yourself a hand for that. So that is one reason that we're just very excited about it. We hit $1 billion last year. We've far surpassed that now. And I will tell you, in this channel, you'll hear lots of people say, our goal is $1 billion. Remember I said I've been in this channel for 20 years. So I was with some of those companies, and it's like, it is 20 years later, and you're still not at $1 billion. And even if they are, a lot of times they're taking those numbers and adding them up for the entire time that they've been in business. Ours is an annual number. And like I said, we've far surpassed that. Only in business for 10 years. So we're really, really, really excited to share our opportunity here with you tonight. And the other thing that I want to bring up is that in this channel, and especially at Rodan & Fields, it's all unpaid advertising. So if you ever see an article written about us or you read something online about us, beauty magazines are writing about us constantly, that is not from us paying them to write about us. That's from them coming out and asking if they can write about us. Now, that's great, and we have beautiful skin in this company, beautiful lashes, all of that, so we can see why they do that. But when you really stand up and take notice is when you see articles in places like Forbes magazine talking about our business opportunity. So it's not just a lot of fun. You can really do pretty well here, and you're going to hear about that from some of our ladies tonight. So without further ado, I want to bring our panel up here because I really want you to hear from them and how it's impacting their lives. So help me welcome Linda Kucha, Lynn Spears, and Jennifer McKay. And these are some of our local leaders here. They'll tell you where they're from, and they'll give you a lot more information. So we're gonna do this panel style. So you ladies can go ahead and take a seat if you'd like, and we'll go ahead and pass the mic around here. Does this one work? Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna hand this to you, and then I'm gonna have you all pass it around, and I'll tell you who's next, and I'll hang out in this area. Okay, so the first question that I would like to ask each of you actually, and we'll start with Linda, is why did you initially decide to become a consultant?
I love that question. My name is Linda Kucha, and I've been a consultant for 4 years. I decided to become a consultant because I had a really big need. My child was becoming a junior in high school, and he was ready to start driving, and he had started applying teenage pressure. Mom, look what Patrick's driving. Mom, did you see what Joey's driving? And I was a single mom. It's just him and me. I was a high school teacher working full-time. I taught fitness classes at our local gym. I was writing for 2 local magazines in my spare time and publishing my first book. So I was so busy, I couldn't even conceive of any other thing being added to my plate. But I knew no matter how busy I was, I couldn't afford another vehicle. And I began to ask other women, how do you do it? How do you add in a whole other vehicle to your house, like the insurance for a teenage boy? So I started my business with the desire to earn enough income to pay for car insurance. That is a very small goal. It's a very small, $200 or $300 a month is all I wanted. I'd be super happy. And in my first month of business, I was able to so far surpass that it completely changed my mind about what I was doing here in this business. I began sharing the opportunity because I knew there were so many women out there who needed a little bit of extra income, or who maybe needed a vacation fund, or who maybe needed just some money on the side for themselves, or maybe wanted to build some relationships. So I began sharing the opportunity, and then my team began to grow.
That's awesome. Thank you. Give her a hand. next I'll ask you the same question, Lynn. Why did you decide to become a consultant?
Well, I was looking for something for me. I had spent 22 years teaching school, retired, and then for the next 10 years, I helped my children reach their career goals. Then after that, I was saying, you know what, I need to find something though that's going to give me time flexibility. I wanted something though, of course, that's going to try to give me a good potential of a lucrative income. So that's when my best friend Jill invited me to an event in her home. And look, I am truly a skincare junkie. So I tried the best of my best of the best products because of my two daughters. So when I went over that night, I didn't know what to really expect. So what I heard that night, and then after everybody left, I actually tried the products. So, which Jill got rather tired of and made me join, okay? No, I'm kidding. But anyway, so I did. I jumped in. I made my investment back in the first month. I started rock and rolling in this business. And actually, I proved to myself after a 7-month tour with Brittany that this is a very lucrative income. I said it was perfect for me because it was a virtual enterprise. Everything you can do on your iPad and your iPhone. And it was just a perfect fit for me. And I love where I am right now. I've got all these experiences with all these different women, and I can't say, I think it would take me 40 years to have the kind of income, or I'd never have this kind of income teaching school. Never mind, and I love teaching, don't get me wrong. But anyway, that's why I joined. I wanted something for me.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, I was not smart enough at the beginning to recognize the potential of Rodan & Fields when I first heard about it. My sister brought it to me when I was very reluctantly looking to go back to full-time employment. And so I was like, I'm looking for a job, like, go away with your crazy self. But she was working this alongside her 60-hour career. So she's my sister, so she kind of told me what she was making, and that caught my attention. And I said, well, okay, I can come in and make some bill paying money. That was my first thought. So I joined without trying the products first. I figured Proactive Doctors, this is gonna work. And really, caught the fever of the potential pretty quickly, and I started running with it. And in a couple of years, I had replaced my husband's and my highest income from very long careers, and which is great, but actually what we see ahead of us and what's ahead of us at the consultants in this room and the people who join us, it's beyond your wildest dreams.
Amazing. That's great. On average, too, most households are just looking for an extra $200 to $300 a month, and sometimes we can think that they're really looking for a lot more. But as you heard right here, that's something that they made back in their first month. Just putting the work to it. We'll tell you what they did a little bit later to give you a little bit more details around that. Okay, let's switch gears for just a moment, and I want to ask you what your favorite products are with Rodan & Fields, and I'm going to start actually with Lynn this time.
Well, actually, I started with the Redefine, and I loved it because it's a multi-med therapy, which the doctors started with Proactive, so they saw that it worked there. And what that means is one product, the wash, build, readies the skin for the toner, then you have your treatment, then you have your aspect, but they all work together. They're created to go together. And the Redefine is the most concentrated in the anti-aging, and I thought that's all I needed. But then as we got started going, I have eczema really bad. Well, then I started learning with the Soothe regimen, that's great for sensitivity. So actually I've used Soothe. As my eczema jumps, so does my Soothe regimen. It goes from one place to the other. And it too, of course, like all the other regimens, it's multi-med therapy. So it works. And I've never had anything that actually worked. So, but I think it's because our award-winning doctors. So, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and pass the mic on to Jen and ask. Is it okay if I call you Jen?
Of course.
I love to give nicknames. Okay, tell us what your favorite product is.
Okay, I adore the Redefine. I love them all, but the Redefine, I actually kind of hyperventilate if I'm close to being out of the AM or PM cream. I'm like, now I'll just stock it up because I cannot run out. But I also love what hasn't been mentioned, our Unblemished. That I don't break out that often, but when I do, gone. And my kids have used it, my husband uses it. It's amazing. I mean, anything on your face, you use that for a couple of days and it's over.
That's wonderful. And now, our Unblemished is different than Proactive. Sometimes people ask, right? But it helps with the adult acne process versus really Proactive is more for, I guess, teens and young adults. So just to give you that, it's also #1 in the premium skincare brand across the U.S. So good to know about that as well. Okay, well, Linda, I'll have you wrap us up. Tell us your favorite, and then I would love for you to share a little bit on our product innovation.
Yes. So my favorite product is Reverse. When I started Rodan & Fields, I was 44 years old, and I had tons of sun damage. Not only had I never worn sunscreen, but I had actually tanned on purpose in tanning beds, if you can believe that. I would never do that now, but I did. And so I had so much sun damage, and my results with the Reverse regimen, because it has the gritty cleanser that has the exfoliating properties, and then it acts to reverse the sun damage on your face so that your skin appears even toned, brighter, and you have a better complexion. My results were so dramatic, that's why I had to share with everyone, and I began to talk to strangers. I did. People I met in the grocery store, people in line in Starbucks, no one was safe. If you got seated next to me in a plane, heaven help you, you were gonna either be a consultant or a customer by the time we landed, because I was so excited about my face, and my face is my billboard. It's my biggest selling point when I talk about Rodan & Fields. Now, one of the things that really impresses me about Rodan & Fields time and time again is not only do we have these 4 amazing regimens that address all the major skin concerns that people have, but our product innovations. Our doctors are always on the leading edge of what's happening in skincare. We start the trends. And then you see the commercials on TV follow. L'Oreal. Sorry, I should say brand.
I heard nothing.
Other brands will follow what we are putting into market. So research and development are the doctor's top priority. And I love being a part of a company that we always have something new to talk about.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, Lynn, this next question, I'm sorry, yes, give her a hand. Thank you. Okay, Lynn, I'm gonna ask you this next question. When you first got started with Rodan & Fields, did you know how to do this? And if not, then how did you gain confidence along the way?
Of course not. I did not know how to do this. But I feel like our group, and Jen was on the other side of the state when she was starting, we were kind of the pioneers. No one knew what Rodan & Fields was, and neither did we. So we worked together, we learned, and you know what? We learned as we earned. But we worked through it, and here we are today. I mean, it's not a quick fix. It doesn't. You really do learn as you earn. And what you earn will be lovely if you just talk to people.
With skin. Yes, that's great. I love learn as you earn instead of learn and then earn, right? You learn as you go, right? You just get excited to share it with others. Okay, Linda, actually, I will have you answer this question next. And I'd like to have each of you answer it just because everyone kind of gains their confidence in a little different way, right? So I'd love for you to share on how you, if you didn't know how to do it already, and I've never heard anyone say that they did, then how did you gain that confidence along the way?
Okay, I pressed the enroll button at 3 o'clock in the morning on a dark and stormy night. I was terrified. I had tried to press the enroll button. I had entered all my information in the light of day, and there was no pressing the button. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't physically do it. Not only did I not know how to run a business, I'd never had any money. Okay, I'm a high school teacher. My bills and my income met perfectly every month end, like they'd met on Match.com. I had no money, okay? So not only did I not know how to run a business, I didn't know how to make money, okay? And I didn't know how to share. So that's the thing that I latched onto early on was, you know what, I may not know how to run a business or grow a team or be a part of a skincare industry. But what I can do is share my excitement. I have very strong purpose. My child was pressuring me. Okay, so I had a very strong purpose. It pushed me forward, and I'm telling you, my child drove an absolutely gorgeous 4x4 F-150 to high school in his senior year. My child loves Rodan and Fields. Okay, so I gained confidence through sharing, through talking to people. Ignorance on fire. I had no idea what I had in my hands, but what I knew is you needed it.
I love ignorance on fire.
That's a great thing. I love it. Okay, and Jen, same question for you.
Okay, yes. Charged my card and enrolled me, no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I was going to do it. No matter what, I was going to figure out a way to get my family out of this crunch. And you know, you start to realize, oh my gosh, Rodan and Fields, they're telling us how to do it. There's such great training, and the leaders who built these big organizations, they weren't hiding any secrets, like, we're not gonna tell anybody how we did it. No, they are sharing it. Everything's so abundant. They're telling us exactly the steps of what we do to build big organizations, and we just follow their lead. And I started gaining a lot of confidence as I shared the business. I realized the smarter the person, the faster they got what we had in our hands. So that really got me the confidence to just keep sharing it, to share up, to talk to people who I thought were more successful than me, had a lot more friends. They're the people that get it.
Awesome. Go ahead and keep it, because I'm going to ask you another question. Tell us, what was the scariest thing when you first got started?
The scariest was, and I'm embarrassed to say it now, but I was scared of what my friends and my former business colleagues would think. I mean, this was so untraditional, and I had been in corporate America for so long. What are they going to think of me doing this? And I turned it around, and I kept saying to myself, you know what, I'm not going to care if anybody thinks anything weird, which very few people did, I want to point out. That was in my own head. But down the road, when I'm earning, the income I had set as a target, or I'm driving that pretty white Lexus that I had earned, or I'm in Paris with the doctors, I'm not going to care what anybody thought. And I haven't. And a lot of my friends have joined me in business and business colleagues, and those that haven't are cheering me on and are big supporters.
That's amazing. Thank you. Okay, we'll give her a hand for that. Okay, and Lynn, I'm going to ask you the same question. What was the scariest thing when you first got started?
I think the fear of failure. That maybe I couldn't do it well. Maybe I wasn't going to succeed at this, because really all I'd ever done before was teach school, and we know how to do that, So simple, working with children.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's switch gears for just a moment. I would like to ask y'all a question around what a day in your life looked like from a business perspective. So at Rodan & Fields, you have a couple, can you guys hear me okay? You have a couple of different ways you can build a business. You have the customer side, and then you have the team side, or you can do both. Most people evolve to both, but they start on the customer side. So give us an idea of, you're not just lucky, you put some work to it, right? So give us an idea of what you did, what a day in your life looked like when you first started at Rodan & Fields, and then kind of how it's evolved along the way as you started to grow a team. And I'm going to ask Linda this first question.
I love this question because my business when I started looked very different than it does today. When I started my business, I was working full-time during the day and teaching fitness classes at night and going on interviews, and like I said, I was very busy. So I woke up in the morning at 5 a.m., an hour before I needed to start getting ready for work, and I made a list of people that I needed to contact that day, somehow, somewhere, that I wanted to talk to about Rodan & Fields. And then on my planning hour, I had 1 hour of planning, I took 15 minutes to reach out to those people or to ask them or share with them my excitement about my skincare or my excitement about my new business and see if they wanted to learn a little more. So I began to have conversations in that little time span. And then there was an hour in between teaching and fitness class in which I was changing clothes and messaging at the same time, okay? And then what I would do at the end of my fitness class, when people came up to talk to me, I would say, would you like to learn more about skincare? Oh my gosh, I've got it all set up at my house. Come over for 5 minutes, I'm gonna show you what I have. In fact, I have a roller in my purse. Let me show you. That's what I had to do. I was busy, okay? This opportunity is so phenomenal. I wanted to share it with as many people as I could during the day. Since then, I have retired. Thanks to Rodan & Fields, I've been able to retire years earlier than I ever planned. Yay! I'm 49 years old and I'm a retired high school teacher, so now my day gets to look like I want it to. And I get to plan it out and schedule things, and it's a little bit more relaxed, not quite so frenzied and hurried. And I work my business from everywhere. Every month I'm in a different place. That's my choice. I chose to travel. I love it. I experience different places. So whether I'm in Alaska or Vegas or California in the wine country or in Destin on the beach, I'm working my business through electronics, like through my cell phone or through my laptop, and I'm still sharing with strangers. There's still no one is safe.
Now, you heard her say she pulled out a roller. So every time she says that she's 49, I just don't believe it. She looks 29, right? But if you don't know what a roller is, that's the reason why she looks like that. So ask the person that brought you here. Okay, I will also have Jennifer, I would love for you to answer this question as well.
Okay, well, no day or week, and no 2 days or 2 weeks in this business look the same. And since the beginning, it was always have a coffee one day, or a business presentation another day, or maybe 6 conference calls the next. I mean, it all, you're still meeting people, you're talking to people, you're introducing to the business and the products, and that's the majority of what we're doing. These days, I really make it a point to get out of my office. It's very easy to sit behind my computer all day and like, oh, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But to get out of my office and really meet people and start conversations. I mean, be genuinely interested in what they're doing, and they're going to be interested in what you're doing. And I have enrolled new business partners out and about like this. Let's say my pharmacist who overheard me talking to the counter girl, parents on benches next to me at my kids' sports. I mean, yeah, there's somebody at a funeral after party once, but they were interested. So our jobs are to go out and talk to people about it because so many people are looking for this.
That's such a great point. Life is short sometimes, so maybe that was on their mind when you talked to them about right? That's bad, I shouldn't have said that. So, as you see, some of the objections that you might be facing even tonight, or some of the things that you've heard up here, right? I don't want to do it because what will my friends think, right? We think that sometimes, right? Or a fear of failure. Maybe I won't be good at it. What happens if I put myself out there and I fail at it, right? So it's just about getting out there and sharing. The thing that's great about Rodan & Fields is really, it's not even about going out and finding customers and all of that. It's finding a need and filling it. And it's basically just having a bunch of friends. Getting a bunch of friends. That's what I'll always tell someone if they ever say, what should I do next? What should I do to increase my business? I'm like, go make some more friends. That's all that you need, right? Because we refer our friends to whatever it is that we're doing. We share it with them. Okay, so last question. I'm going to have each of you answer this question. I'm going to start with you, Linda. I would like to know, what has been the best part of this journey so far?
The best part of this journey so far is certainly not the fact that I am retired. It's certainly not changing my life, which this business has, in the financial aspect, of course. But it's something I didn't expect. So my parents moved a lot when I was a child. I moved 28 times before I got married. So I did not develop those long-lasting, deep friendships. And I told you guys my schedule. There was no wine soirees in there, okay? I was a hardworking woman, so I did not sit there with girlfriends and chill, okay? I was too busy for that. So I didn't take the time to develop those friendships that are so meaningful. And through the business, because it really does encourage you to make connections with people you normally wouldn't talk to, it also encourages you to be vulnerable and to ask for help and to look to others for guidance and coaching. And the more you connect with people, you begin to rely on them. And for the first time in my entire life, I have friends that are now close as family and a network of women that I can rely on when my child graduated and went off to the military and left me, I like to say he left me. I have an empty nest. I thought I might die. And I was on the sofa for a couple of days, like I wasn't moving. That was it. Like, you know, my child's gone. And my sisters, my Rodan and Phil sisters said, let's go, that's enough. That's enough crying and let's go to lunch. We're going to have mimosas, let's go. And I learned that I had developed so much more than just a financial change or a lifestyle change, but I've got sisters now.
That's amazing. That's the real man. Okay, Jennifer, same question for you. What has been the best part about this journey so far?
Something I didn't expect at all, and I'll tell you a quick story. I was at a presentation a few months ago, and somebody who I didn't know before they joined this business, it was somebody that I told about it, that they told about it, was presenting to a room, and she was so excited and so happy and on fire about what this business has meant to her and her family. She has 5 little kids, and but she has built a business that's very meaningful for their family. And I'm like, that's amazing that our success is determined by somebody like that, by somebody who is so happy and this has been so meaningful for them. So that's the best part, is seeing other people's success.
Awesome. Okay, and Lynn, we'll pass it over to you. What has been the best part of this journey for you so far?
There's so many best parts for me. I guess starting with, I mean, everything I'd ever done, all my friendships, everything always was around my children and what they did, right? But I was empty nest too. So I guess I kind of recreated a new sense of self. I got great pleasure in doing what you're talking about, Jennifer, watching these women become stronger and a better sense of self also. I liked the unity. I liked all the experience that we've gone through together. I mean, there are people out there that I know now that I'm really, really close to, great friends with. Some are even travel buddies where we all, you know, like you're talking about. And I mean, it's been so rewarding, this whole journey, because all of us are like-minded women. We want time flexibility and we want a lucrative income, right? We want to, you know, be able to have all that. And of course, I've got the best skin of my life. And really, I'm not kidding you, I love my skin. And last but not least is, look, the income is fabulous. So anyway, I guess I covered it all. But I have a whole lot of best. So.
That's great. Yes, give them all a hand. You ladies did a great job. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I just wanted to thank our speakers for one, because it's not like everybody's professional speakers here. They just get excited and they want to come up and share. And you know, they say that speaking, that percentage-wise, that more people are scared of death than they are of, or more scared of public speaking than they are of death. What? That's crazy, right? I know. So, very good job. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. Now, you've heard a lot about our community, a lot about friends and all of that, right? And all of the work that they do with one another. And I'll tell you, like just right here in New Orleans, there are many different teams, but they all pull together to help with training one another, to help put different events on like this. So I just wanted to give a shout out to a few of our local leaders. If you helped to put this event together, please stand. Amanda Clementi. And now I'm going to try to say where you're from so you kind of know where everybody's from in the area. But if I say it wrong, I'm a Texas girl, okay? Like, I don't know how to pronounce all this stuff out here. So, Slidell. All right. And Melanie Hebert, you heard from her. And Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
From New Orleans, I live in Baton Rouge.
She's a transplant. Kim Kennison. And she's from, yes, Madison. Oh, no.
I wrote Mandeville, I'm sorry, it's my fault.
Mandeville's on my Facebook, but I moved to Covington, but it's all the same.
It's all the same shit.
See there, it's the same thing. I'm going to have you all just shout out where you're from. Jennifer McKay.
New Orleans, but I live in Lafayette.
Woo-hoo! All right. Jill Prescott, and she's out in, oh, go right ahead. Say it again. Kentwood. All right. Jamie Savoy. And she, I think, is out in the Baton Rouge area, so we're going to see her tomorrow night. And then Andrea Schaff. She's Baton Rouge as well. Lynn Spears.
Yeah. Kipwood.
Ooh, another Kentwood. It sounds like it's rocking over in Kentwood. And we have one more leader, Jill Williamson, and she's also out in Baton Rouge. But they all pulled together to put the events on, and it just helps to show you just the team spirit and how everyone comes together. So give each other a hand for that. We have raffles. Okay, should we do this at the end? Should I wrap up first and then raffle? Wrap up and raffle? That sounds good, because then you have to stay. No, we're just teasing. Okay, so let's do this. I wanted to share with you the 4 different ways that we have to get started with Rodan and Fields. So we have our $45 kit. It's a business portfolio, and I'll just tell you what I tell everybody else. There's no product in there. So nobody wants that, right? So don't even think about that one. Then we have our personal results kit. That is $3.95, and that's exactly what it's called. It's just, you get personal results with it. It's enough products for just yourself. We also have 2 of our top 2 kits that everybody chooses. Is our Big Business Launch Kit. That's $6.95. That has everything that you need to get started. You have tons of regimens in there. You see the picture here. I'm not going to go through all of it. I'll spare you the details. But talk with the person that brought you here tonight. You get some fantastic value in this one as well. But the very best value, if you're a value girl like many of us are, is our RFX Express Kit. It's $9.95. It has over $2,000 of value in it, and it has like all the marketing materials, samples, everything that you need to get your business started right away. So those are the different ways to get started. Here's what I want you to think about. I think I got 2 mics going here. I'm like a lot louder than what I was. Let's do this on a scale of 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're a 7 to a 10, I just want to encourage you to just jump in and get started and ask questions later. You know enough. Were any of you 10s when you first started? No. Well, maybe by 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So if you're a 7 to a 10, just jump in and get started and ask questions later. If you're a 4 to a 7, you may still have some questions. And if you do, that is exactly what we're all here for and the person that brought you here. So come up and ask us, and we're happy to share all that we know about it to help get you over to that other side. Now, if you are, let's say, a 1 to 3, and you're not thinking that this business may not be for you, that's okay. But what I want to encourage you to do is look at our preferred customer program. We have a preferred customer program where you can get free shipping on the products, a discount. It's a great program. You definitely want to lead with at least products, right? Or at least sign up to be a preferred customer. Now, if none of that is for you, but I always like to compare this. Do you guys ever sit in church and the pastor's giving you a message and you're like, man, I wish my sister was here to hear this one. It happens to me all the time, right? Usually that means it's for you. So if that happened to you tonight and you thought, man, I wish my sister or my friend or so-and-so was here to hear this, this would be a great opportunity for them. What I want you to do is pass that along to the person that brought you here because they can earn the income from it. I'm just kidding. You would want to be the one to earn the income from it, but you can pass it along because it is how they all build their businesses here. So, also, I wanted to share that if you decide to get started tonight on one of our top 2 kits, I'll go ahead and toss in an extra free regimen of your choice. I'm glad you liked that, Amanda.
That's my nail.
That is basically an extra $200 in value. So I'll throw that in, okay? Make sure you let us know that you did that. And I just want you to consider this. I believe that the single force that drives our lives is the power of choice. Is it not? Like if I think about 2 choices that I made at a younger age, like let's say I married a different person or I chose a different path for my career, my life would look very different than it does right now. So I want you to think about the power of choice. Now, I don't know if we said this tonight, but all of our products have a 60-day money-back empty bottle guarantee. And that's if you join as well on all of that, 60-day money-back. So consider this. If the power of choice is really what drives your life, why not choose to get started? It's virtually risk-free. If these ladies wouldn't have gotten started when they did, their lives would look very different today. So if anything kind of nudged you or pulled at you or made, other than just your neighbor, right? If any of this really spoke to you in any way, I just want to encourage you, just get started with it. I don't think that you'll regret it. I haven't met one person that has. Now, I'm wrapping here, so I just want you to do one more thing with me. It's a fun little exercise. I want you to turn to your neighbor and I want you to repeat after me. You guys ready? Look him in the eyes. Okay, you're gonna say, I look better than you. And if you can't say that with confidence, you should get started tonight. Thank you ladies very much. And now we're going to do a raffle.